God's urgent message, your name holds a dark secret in his eternal promise. In the dim light of a flickering street lamp, Nathan discovered a crumpled piece of paper wedged between two cobblestones. His heart raced as he carefully unfolded it, revealing a single phrase scrawled in a hurried, almost frantic scrawl, "Your name is the key." Bewilderment consumed him. How could a few words hold so much weight? A promise? An omen? Whatever it was, he felt the air around him flicker with an electric energy, as if the universe itself had shifted and was now watching, waiting. Every pulse beat wildly. Shadows danced around him, whispering secrets in a language he couldn't understand. He glanced over his shoulder, half expecting to see someone lurking in the darkness. But there was nothing, just the chill of the night wrapping around him like a damp, suffocating blanket. Yet, the feeling of being watched didn't dissipate. It only deepened, thickening the air with tension. Nathan's throat tightened, an uncomfortable lump forming as uncertainty gnawed at his insides. Then there were the tales, rumors drifting through town about people whose names carried unimaginable power. Good or bad? There was no way to tell. Some swore those cursed names brought misfortunes, while others claimed they unlocked hidden destinies. They were stories filled with treachery and betrayal, intertwining lives and fates. But as Nathan stepped forward, he felt a sudden heat radiate from the paper, as if the words were alive and keeping something important at bay. He could almost hear the fabric of reality tearing, frayed threads of fate unraveling before him. "Hey, before we continue with this amazing story, I need to give you an important heads up. Many subscribers have reported that YouTube unsubscribed them without warning. Take a quick second to check the red button below to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. I'd hate for you to miss any of the exclusive content coming soon. And while you're there, smash that like button, it really helps me out with the algorithm. Oh, and tell me in the comments, which city are you watching from? I love getting to know every amazing person who's part of this community. Your participation makes all the difference. Let's connect. The figure of an old man appeared through the mist, his wild hair and tattered clothes blurring the lines between reality and some fevered dream. "You must discover the truth," he shouted, eyes ablaze with desperation. The words pierced Nathan like icy daggers, igniting a flicker of hope amidst the fear. What was the truth? And what lay beyond his name? The old man's voice faded into the void, leaving Nathan alone once more, clutching the paper like a lifeline. A whisper of wind carried an echo of laughter, chilling Nathan to the bone. Was it real, or a trick of his imagination? He felt the familiar tightness in his chest return, as if the gravity of his own identity was weighing him down. "Only you can unlock it," the voice seemed to weave through the trees, swirling in a chaos of uncertainty. He took a shallow breath, mind racing. What was it, really? Could a simple name truly hold such dark secrets? Could Nathan traverse this uncharted path ahead? Only his next steps could reveal the lingering mysteries, but deep down, he couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the very beginning of a dark odyssey. What shadows lingered in the corners of his reality, waiting for him to step further into the unknown? Nathan's eyes darted around the empty street, every rustle of foliage making his heart jump. The fear was palpable, a thick fog clinging to him as he tried to convince himself that the old man was just a figment of a fraying mind. But the urgency in his voice reverberated deep within him, echoing through his very being. He couldn't just walk away. Curiosity mingled with dread fueled his determination. He flipped the paper over, hoping for more clues, but it remained blank. Nothing but the single ominous line. The night felt suffocatingly still. He could sense the weight of existence pressing down on him, pushing him toward some unavoidable truth. Closing his eyes for a moment, he focused on the sensations: the cool breeze against his skin, the distant sound of a car engine, and a muffled whisper that seemed to call his name. Nathan. The way it rolled off the tongue sent shivers down his spine. Drawing a deep breath, he decided to seek answers. He turned on his heel and navigated back toward town, the flicker of street lamps guiding him with a ghostly glow. The laughter he had heard earlier danced in his memory, a sinister reminder that he wasn't alone. Shadows stretched and twisted, creating monstrous shapes that haunted his peripheral vision. Each step felt weighted, as if something unseen was trying to hold him back. That he approached the local diner, a beacon of warmth in the cold night. The neon sign buzzed quietly, and through its windows, he could see familiar faces engaged in their late-night conversations. The diner had always been his haven, a place where the worries of the world outside faded, if only for a moment. But now, it felt alien. He couldn't shake the thought that someone might know about the paper, the words, the secrets. Pushing the door open, the bell jingled above his head. He stepped inside, the scent of fried food and coffee wrapping around him like a comforting shroud. Folks glanced up from their booths, but their eyes were clouded with the mundane. Was he the only one aware of the storm brewing beneath the surface? He approached the counter, where Betty, the waitress, was wiping down the surface with a rag that had seen better days. "Hey, Nathan. Lookin' a bit pale there," she said, chuckling lightly. The warmth in her voice contrasted sharply with the chill gnawing at his insides. He forced a smile. "Betty, have you heard anything unusual about names? Cursed names?" He stammered, words pouring out before he could think better of it. The laughter died on her lips. "Cursed? You mean those stories? Just old wives' tales to scare kids?" Her tone was dismissive, but her eyes held a glimmer of recognition. "What do you mean?" His pulse quickened as he leaned in closer. "Just, stories about names carrying weight. Forces beyond our knowing. You could say your name has implications," she replied, her gaze drifting away, as if recalling something buried and deep. "What kind of implications?" The door swung open suddenly, drawing his attention. A man entered, a stranger with dark eyes that sparkled with a knowing light. Nathan's heart stopped as he met the stranger's gaze. Something in those eyes held a secret, a message yet unspoken. "Your fate is calling, Nathan," the stranger declared, voice steady and low, cutting through the din of the diner. "Your name is the key to everything." Panic seized Nathan, barbed fingers squeezing his chest. Who was this man, and what did he know? The diner began to fade, the world narrowing down to that one unsettling assertion. And as the walls closed in, shadows swirling rapidly, Nathan knew that whatever secrets were rolled up within his name would soon emerge. It was only a matter of time, what awaited him in the depths of that revelation. He could feel it creeping closer, drawing him toward an inevitable confrontation that he couldn't escape. With each heartbeat, he knew the truth was ticking like a time bomb waiting to explode. Would he still be Nathan when it did? Nathan's breath quickened, the stranger's words pulsing in his ears. They echoed through the diner, weaving in and out of conversations like a ghost refusing to let go. He shook his head, trying to drown out the noise, but it was too late. The warmth of the diner couldn't shield him from the cold grip of his own fear. "What do you mean my name is the key?" Nathan's voice trembled, barely above a whisper. The familiar faces around him, a mix of laughter and chatter, now felt like they were on another planet, trapped in a reality far removed from his own. The stranger stepped closer, his movements deliberate, almost like a predator cornering his prey. Those dark eyes bore into Nathan's, revealing a depth of knowledge that terrified him. "Names ride the currents of fate," he spoke deliberately, as if each word held the weight of ancient secrets. "Your name carries a chain of events already set in motion. You can either embrace it or let it destroy you." Nathan's pulse raced. The weight of the man's statement crushed him from every angle. With each tick of the clock on the wall, the diner faded further, morphing into a surreal landscape of chaos in his mind. All around him, he saw shadows flicker, laughing faces blurring and darkening. The laughter twisted into unrecognizable wails, and Nathan felt his grip on reality slipping. "Hey, Nathan, you okay?" Betty's concerned voice cut through the murky haze. She leaned over the counter, her brow furrowed. He turned to her, eyes wild. "Betty! What did you mean by implications? What's happening to me?" She hesitated, glancing at the stranger then back at Nathan, her expression a mix of fear and sympathy. Sometimes, people find out things about themselves that aren't easy to digest. It can change everything. A cold chill ran down Nathan's spine. He suddenly recalled the old man's trembling hands, the way he had whispered that Nathan was marked. The world outside the diner dimmed, feeling like a stage, and for a moment, Nathan lost sight of the people around him. Everything was closing in. The stranger placed a hand on Nathan's shoulder, grounding him for a fleeting moment. "You must find the origin, Nathan. It's where the truth lies, and it will come for you. Unless you confront it, that truth will consume what remains of your sanity. Get away from him." Betty snapped, now visibly alarmed. "Who are you? What do you want with him?" The tension in the diner hung heavy as the stranger's face contorted into a cruel smile. "I bring not what you think, but what is meant to be uncovered." Nathan's body felt soaked in ice. Sucking in a breath, he shot out of his seat, knocking over a chair. "I need to leave. I need to find out." He pushed through the onlookers, their stunned faces merging into a blur. Bursting back outside, he gasped for air, the night wrapping around him like a cloak. The shadows seemed to dance anew, urging him back to the old man's warning. "Where do I go from here?" he muttered, grasping the paper in his pocket. The words flashed in his mind. He glanced back over his shoulder toward the diner. The atmosphere felt thick with secrets, every person in there holding a piece of his puzzle. But he was too frightened to turn back. Racing down the street, propelled by an urgency he could barely understand, Nathan was propelled by the need to discover this dark truth. The whispers grew louder, shadows flickering at each corner. As he reached the edge of town, an imposing figure emerged from the gloom. Faced with the looming presence, Nathan's heart sank. Somehow, he knew he had to confront whatever lay ahead, yet a paralyzing dread held him back. He felt the weight of destiny's call. And just then, a gust of wind knocked his paper to the ground, revealing a name that sent icy fingers crawling up his spine. What did it mean? Who would he become? The truth was clawing its way to the surface, and Nathan knew he had no choice but to keep moving forward, toward the darkness. Nathan's heart raced as he stood frozen, staring at the paper that drifted like a ghostly whisper onto the sidewalk. The name printed there felt like ice in his veins. It wasn't just a name, it felt like a summons, an accusation from his past, wrapped in a mystery he was terrified to unravel. The figure before him stepped closer, shrouded in shadows. It was a woman, her face barely illuminated by the flickering streetlight. "You're Nathan," she stated, her voice as cold as the wind that rustled through the trees. "I've been looking for you." "Who are you?" he stammered, trying to shake off the dread pooling in his stomach. "Someone who knows about the origins, and the implications." She moved closer, and he could see the intensity in her eyes. "I know what the name means." His breath caught. "What are you talking about? What does it have to do with me?" "You're marked, Nathan. Your name holds a power, a connection to things beyond us." "Marked?" he echoed, the word reverberating in his mind. He wanted to run, to flee back to the safety of the diner, but he couldn't move. "Yes," she continued, her voice dropping to a whisper. "Marked by fate. The people you encounter tonight, they can feel it too. They know you're different." The night felt heavier around him, each second stretching as if to suffocate him in suspense. "What people? What do you mean?" "The diner." You felt the weight Betty's fear, the stranger's certainty. "They see your potential," she said, her hands gesturing wildly, as if trying to unravel a web only she could see. "But not all will want to help you. Some will want to use you." Nathan shook his head, trying to process her words. "Use me for what? I'm just me." She stepped back, her face tense. "That's not how it works. It's what's in your blood that interests them." Nathan felt a cold sweat prickle his skin. The shadows around him seemed to shift and writhe, as if his fear was feeding them. "What's in my blood? No one has said anything about that." The woman hesitated, then lowered her voice. "The name connects you to something ancient. It binds you to a lineage, a legacy hidden in shadows. It's why you need to confront it now. What if I don't want to? Nathan asked, challenging her as the weight of realization set in. Then it will find you anyway. It's already started, she replied, a hint of urgency creeping into her tone. Suddenly, a loud crash echoed through the empty street, pulling their attention. Nathan turned, his heart pounding as he saw a dark figure emerging from the alley. It moved with an unsettling speed, the glimmer of something metallic shining in the dim light. "Run!" the woman yelled, pushing him away toward the main street. But Nathan hesitated, his feet glued to the ground. The figure stepped closer, its features obscured. But Nathan could feel its breath, a chilling gust that sent shivers down his spine. It raised the metal object, and Nathan's instincts screamed at him to move, to escape whatever dark fate awaited him, but he couldn't shake the feeling that turning his back meant abandoning the very truth he needed to confront. "What do I do?" Nathan yelled, panic rising in his chest. "Face it. Remember, you hold the key." She shouted, the echoes of her words resonating in his mind. As the figure lunged forward, Nathan's body reacted on instinct. He had a choice to make, and with every heartbeat pulsing in his ears, he knew the time for decisions was running out. And just as he took a step forward to confront his fate, the shadows around him deepened, leaving him with the haunting question, how much was he willing to lose to find the truth? As the figure reached him, the world around Nathan blurred with a choice to make and a truth waiting to be unveiled. Nathan's heart thundered in his chest as he braced himself. The shadows seemed alive, swirling around him, feeding off his fear. He should have listened to the woman, to her warning about facing whatever was coming. But as the figure lunged, he felt an electric rush of adrenaline surge through him, time slowed, the world narrowing to the glint of metal and the eerie stillness that surrounded it. He sidestepped just as the object in truth, a knife whizzed past him, mere inches from his side. The cold air sobered him, he couldn't back down now. The figure stumbled, momentarily off balance. He saw a flash of its face, twisted in fury, and something inside Nathan snapped. He wouldn't be the victim. Not tonight. With a newfound resolve, Nathan rushed forward. He was just a regular guy, but that didn't matter right now. Every ounce of fear morphed into determination as he tackled the attacker, sending them both crashing to the ground. The knife clattered away, skidding across the concrete, glimmering mockingly in the light of the street lamp. Nathan pinned the figure down, adrenaline coursing through him, the weight of the confrontation hitting him like a tidal wave. "Who are you?" he demanded, wrestling with the dark figure, feeling the strength beneath him. It was surprisingly strong, muscles coiled tightly against his grip. "Let me go. You don't understand." The attacker hissed, their voice raspy and urgent, but Nathan couldn't afford to release his hold. The woman's words echoed like a siren in his mind. This was connected to him, to something bigger. "Explain. Now. I don't have time for this." The figure spat, shifting beneath him. "They'll come for you. They're already here." Nathan's pulse raced, each breath an echo of impending dread. "Who's coming? What do you want with me?" The steel of desperation hardened his tone. The figure paused, eyes widening, momentarily taken aback by his ferocity. "The name, it's not just a name. It's a beacon. They're drawn to it, to you. If you don't escape now, it won't just be me they'll send after you." Dark images flickered across Nathan's mind, shadows tearing through the night, spiraling figures waiting in darkness. "Then tell me how to stop them." Nathan dug his knees into the ground, trying to contain this threat, this chaotic force climbing around him. "Unlock it, Nathan. The power's waiting in you, but you must choose," the figure gasped, eyes darting around as if they could sense an unseen presence. "Only then can you control it. But if you fail, you'll bring ruin to everyone around you." Nathan swallowed hard at the weight of the words. Control. What control did he have over something hidden in his blood, a legacy he never knew existed? a paramedic light flickered in the distance. Sirens wailed, approaching fast, but the shadows stirred uneasily, cresting higher. "Leave. Now." The figure hissed, fidgeting under his hold. "They'll be here any second." Nathan glanced to the sound, adrenaline still pulsing. He needed answers, but time was slipping. The woman, the voice of reason, really had warned him. "Wait." He leaned closer, eyes locked with his captive. "What is your name? Who sends you?" The figure smirked, a bitter twist on their lips as shadows deepened, the sirens echoing louder above the chaos. "You'll know soon enough. But you won't see tomorrow if you don't run." With that, they bucked, throwing Nathan off and scrambling away into the dark. The shadows surged, chasing after his foe, swirling like wraiths, leaving Nathan gasping as they twisted back towards him. Heart racing, he pushed himself to gather his wits, glancing at the approaching lights. A desperate choice loomed just beyond his grasp. He had to confront his past, the truth wrapped in his name, before the darkness consumed him. The woman's voice returned, haunting yet powerful, telling him he was marked. But what did it truly mean? As he straightened, a chill ran down his spine. Could he truly unlock the potential within him, or would the shadows swallow him whole? The streetlights flickered again, and Nathan heard the whispers of fate creeping closer. What lay ahead was nebulous and dark, but his next step was undeniable. He had to find the woman who held the key, the one who waited in the night. But would she still be there, or had the shadows claimed her too? Nathan stumbled back, his breath coming in sharp gasps. The shadows coiled around him, they felt like a living thing, hungry and relentless. The figure that had just escaped left a heaviness in the air, a lingering dread he couldn't shake. He had expected more chaos, more danger, but now it felt oddly still. He glanced toward the street, where the paramedic lights painted the ground in red and blue hues, illuminating the chaos that had erupted moments ago. Sirens wailed, but they seemed miles away, the cacophony fading into the background of his spiraling thoughts. He had to move. He had to find her. The woman who had warned him, the one who knew what was happening. The asphalt felt slick beneath his feet as he darted toward an alley, adrenaline surging again, propelling him into the darkness. Moonlight flickered in through gaps between the brick walls, but it seemed to struggle against the gathering gloom. The shadows danced, anxiety whispering words just beyond hearing. "Unlock it." The figure's words echoed in his brain like a pounding drum. But how? What did he even have to unlock? Was it strength? Or something buried deeper within him? Turning a corner, he slowed. A small park unfolded ahead, desolate in the night, yet a sense of comfort washed over him. The benches were empty, and the trees stretched above, their branches twisting like skeletal fingers. He scanned the scene for any sign of the woman, but nothing moved except for the rustle of leaves, then, a soft sound, a whisper perhaps. He turned sharply, eyes narrowing. "Hello." He called out, the tension tightening in his throat. Nothing answered, just the haunting echoes of the night. He hesitated, hearing the rush of blood in his ears, his heart pounding like a hammer. This was insane. Chasing shadows, looking for ghosts. But the very thought of what was chasing him fueled his determination. It was impossible to shake off the idea that his address, buried in lineage or fate, was somehow a beacon for whatever darkness loomed. It scared him, yet curiosity gnawed at him. "Show yourself." He demanded again, his voice sharper, more confident. A rustling emerged from nearby bushes, and a figure stepped out, the woman. Her eyes were wide and glimmering, reflecting the faint light as she took a cautious step forward. Nathan's heart leaped, a flicker of hope igniting within him even as shadows lurked around. "There's no time," she said, urgency tinged with fear. "You have to listen to me. They're closer than you realize." "What are you talking about? Who are they?" He struggled to keep his voice steady. "You have to tell me more." The woman shook her head, glancing over her shoulder as if expecting someone to emerge from the dark. I wish I could explain all of it now, but I can't. They are drawn to you. You must leave, now. Nathan approached, desperation creeping like ice through his veins. Please. Just help me understand what I need to do, how I can. Your name is crucial. She interrupted, eyes sharp. It holds a power, something that binds you to them. You need to unlock it before it's too late. Her words swirled in his mind, frantic and chaotic. But how? What does that even mean? Suddenly, shadows erupted from the alley's mouth, flickering with life, swirling grotesquely. Nathan felt a cold wave wash over him, a herald of something sinister. They're here. He grabbed the woman's arm, heart racing. We can't stay here. We have to run. Not yet. She yanked free, stepping away. If you want to survive, you need to trust me. You must face it. Face them. With that, she lunged into the shadows, the murk swallowing her whole. Panic gripped him. Had he lost her again? But he couldn't wait. The encroaching darkness loomed, whispering threats just beyond the light. Wait! He screamed, but it had turned to a breath. He turned towards the darkness, and as he did, a growl resonated from the depths, dark and chilling. Would he be brave enough to enter the darkness after those who had claimed his name? His only choice lay ahead, and with a deep breath, he took a step toward the shadows, his heart pounding in rhythm with the unseen menace. What awaited him on the other side? Nathan stepped forward, the dark inviting him with a sinister whisper. Shadows shifted, pooling around his feet as if alive, eagerly reaching for him. He rubbed his palms against his jeans, trying to shake the dreadful anticipation clinging to his skin. Suddenly, the growl intensified, throaty and near, sending ripples of terror racing through him. Is anyone there? He called out, but the darkness swallowed his voice, leaving only eerie silence. Every instinct screamed for him to flee, to run back into the safety of the street, but he remembered the woman's eyes, her warning. With a final breath, Nathan plunged deeper into the alley, banishing the hesitation looming over him. Each step reverberated with the pounding of his heart, a rhythm of anxiety intertwined with an odd determination. What was hidden here? What awaited him in the depths? As he moved, shapes began to form within the blackness, a flicker here, a distant motion there. Panic drove him onward, the need to find answers pushing against the fear that twisted like a knife in his gut. Show yourself! He shouted, desperate for some sign, any sign of guidance. A figure stepped forth, emerging from the murky void. It was tall and twisted, its form indistinct and shadowy, the darkness seeming to cling to it as if it were part of the creature itself. The growl that escaped its maw sent chills racing down Nathan's spine, a low growl that reverberated through the air like a warning bell. Welcome, Nathan, the creature rasped, voice like gravel. We've been expecting you. His pulse quickened. What do you want from me? Who are you? The figure leaned closer, sharp eyes glinting in the faint light. You bear a name powerful enough to command attention, to command us. Nathan felt as if the ground had shifted beneath him. What do you mean? He whispered, grappling with confusion and dread. What is my name to you? The name is a key, a doorway to power, it hissed, a twisted glee evident in its tone. And every name holds a secret, Nathan. Yours more than most. He fought to steady his breathing, realizing that the darkness around him was not just a backdrop, it hung in the air like a living entity, an entity that waited and watched with hungry eyes. What secret? He pressed, heart racing. The creature smiled, revealing rows of jagged teeth, each glistening in an unfathomable blackness. What was buried will resurface, Nathan. Unlocking it means embracing the legacy left behind. A sudden flash of memories surged through his mind, moments he had forgotten, names he had dismissed. He shuddered, visions flickering, faces, shadows, words spoken in old tongues. Everything around him felt fragile, teetering on the edge of revelation. Listen closely, Nathan, the creature murmured, voice dripping with menace, time is of the essence. You must embrace it, or they will take it from you. The shadows crave it, they wish for your name. A lump formed in his throat. What will happen if I refuse? The pause lingered. You will be consumed. You are tied to them by blood and fate. Rejection will unleash their wrath. Nathan's thoughts swirled, panic clawing at his insides as doubts clouded his judgment. Should he pursue this path, or turn back? Before he could decide, a distant sound broke through the tension, a scream, filled with fear and anguish, echoing from somewhere beyond the shadows. Run! The creature hissed with sudden urgency. You have no time left. They've come for you. Nathan spun on his heel, the instinct to escape surging through him. He didn't know what was behind him, but he felt it close, creeping like a predator. He bolted, racing away from the creature, heart pounding harder than before. His legs propelled him forward, adrenaline coursing through his veins, but even as he fled, Nathan couldn't shake the weight of the creature's words. What legacy did his name hold? What truths lay buried in the darkness he was fleeing? And as he stumbled into the alleyway's mouth, he felt the darkness reach for him once more, beckoning him to return. Would he choose to confront the horrors of his past, or would the shadows consume him instead? In that moment, everything teetered on a knife's edge, a choice that would shape his fate and the fate of countless others. What awaited him when he delved deeper into the truth of his name? Nathan dashed into the street, the cold night air slapping against his face like a splash of icy water. He glanced back, half expecting the shadow to leap from the alley and drag him back into that suffocating darkness. But nothing followed. The streetlights cast a ghostly glow, illuminating the empty road, and for a moment, he felt the panic subside just a bit before it surged again. What had that creature meant by legacy? He felt the weight of its words pressing against his mind. A name, a key, a doorway, but to what? The scream had echoed with a haunting familiarity that niggled at his memory. Something stirred within him, a sense of urgency that had nothing to do with fleeing the alley. He had to remember. Whatever was at stake was much bigger than he could imagine. Shaking off the remnants of fear, Nathan took off down the block, desperate for distance. He needed to clear his head. Each footfall echoed in the quiet night, a stark contrast to the chaos raging inside him. Then, from behind, a voice called out. Nathan. It was frenetic, full of concern. He turned, heart racing again, but it was only Laura, his childhood friend, her pale cheeks flushed with worry. What are you doing out here? She cried, rushing to him. You look like you've seen a ghost. Panic faded slightly, replaced by relief. I heard something. Something in the alley. He struggled to explain, the thoughts tumbling over one another. The darkness, the creature, its unholy warning. An alley? At this hour? She narrowed her eyes, trying to read his expression. What were you thinking? He opened his mouth to respond but found no words. He couldn't burden her with the strangeness of what had just happened. Instead, he felt an unexplainable need to protect her from whatever darkness loomed in his life. Come on, she said, taking his arm. Let us get you home. He wanted to say no, wanted to voice how he felt like he wasn't safe anywhere. But as she pulled him along, something in her touch anchored him. The world felt less suffocating with her beside him. As they walked, he could still feel that lurking dread clawing at the edges of his mind. Laura, did I ever tell you my father wasn't just my father? The words tumbled out before he could stop them, revealing a part of himself he had tucked away for far too long. She paused, glancing back at him. What do you mean? What are you talking about? He hesitated. The memories were fragmented, shouting through the fog of his mind. A woman's face, shrouded in thought, a man whispering ancient things, the weight of expectation heavy on his shoulders. He said, I carry something, a legacy, something dangerous, something powerful. Her expression softened. Nathan, that's just talk. You're not in danger. But as he glanced up, he noticed a flicker in her gaze, the slightest hint of doubt, as if she felt it too. As they transitioned out of the dim glow of the streetlights, the shadows loomed longer and darker. What was once a simple walk home felt like wading through an unseen current. It tugged at him, whispered with promises of clarity but also peril. "Laura," he said, his voice low, "what if there's more to this? What if I can unlock something real?" The air shifted, a chill wrapping around them. Laura swallowed hard. "You're not making sense. This isn't like you." Just then, a rustling in the shadows made both of them jump. A figure darted down the side street, too fast to see, but Nathan felt the familiar thrum of dread coil in his stomach. The very same dread that had ridden him from that alley. Before he could react, Laura squeezed his arm. "Nathan, we need to get out of here. Now." The urgency in her tone snapped him back. They turned to run, footsteps pounding against the pavement as they picked up speed. But as they sprinted, a voice echoed again from behind, twisted and sharp. Nathan recognized it, the gravelly timbre cutting through the night air. "Your name is not just yours, Nathan." His heart dropped. He glanced back to see the creature watching from the shadows, those glinting eyes restless. Panic surged through him again. "Run!" he shouted, pulling Laura with him as they barreled through the night, but even as they fled, Nathan felt a creeping certainty he could not escape the truth of his name, or the legacy waiting for him to uncover. What danger was so eager to follow them? And would they outrun it in time? Nathan and Laura raced down the deserted street, their breath coming out in short, sharp bursts, mingling with the mist rising from the pavement. Fear bubbled in Nathan's throat, churning with the ghostly words that echoed in his mind. He didn't dare look back, but the weight of that creature's gaze felt like a noose tightening around his chest. "Why do you keep looking back?" Laura panted, glancing over her shoulder. What if it's still there?" "I don't know." Nathan snapped, his voice sharper than he intended. But panic was a fierce beast clawing at his insides. "We have to just keep running." As they rounded the corner, the street opened up into a small park. A few flickering lights dotted the area, but the shadows remained deep and inviting. It was a pause, a brief respite filled with the scent of damp earth and grass, yet the knot in his stomach tightened further. This should be felt safe, but instead, it felt like a trap waiting to snap shut. "Over there." Nathan pointed toward a large oak tree, its trunk thick and gnarled, offering them a possible refuge. They sprinted toward it, hearts racing with the madness of the night. "You need to tell me what is going on." Laura's voice cut through the chaos, raw with urgency. "What was that thing? I wish I knew." He shouted, slumping against the tree, his mind racing back to the creature's proclamation his name was not just his own. It's all connected. "My family, the whispers, the legacy." "Stop." She grabbed his arms, forcing him to meet her gaze. "Please, you're freaking me out. What did you hear in the alley? What legacy?" He opened his mouth, but the truth felt like a heavy stone lodged in his throat. "It said I was destined for something dark." The mere mention sent tendrils of dread curling around his heart. Before they could react further, a rustling erupted from the shrubs nearby, and Nathan's body tensed. His instincts screamed at him to prepare for another encounter. Then they came, a dozen figures, moving silently, emerging from the shadows. Their faces were obscured, but their intentions were palpable. Dread twisted in Nathan's gut. "What is happening?" he whispered. Laura trembled beside him, clutching his hand tighter, as if attempting to anchor them both. "Your name belongs to us now," a voice hissed from the group, chilling Nathan to the bone. The figure stepped forward, partially illuminated by the nearby lamplight. It was a woman with pallid skin and gleaming eyes, like those of the creature from the alley. "You must come with us. Your legacy must be fulfilled. Stay away from us." Laura shouted, pushing Nathan back. "We're not going anywhere with you." Yet, as Nathan felt Laura's grip tighten, something dawned in his mind. The urgency he had felt earlier was no longer just about escaping. It was deeper. "What do you want with me?" he blurted out, defiance rising within him. "When all is revealed, you will understand," the woman replied, a sinister smile creeping across her lips. "Embrace your destiny, Nathan, or risk losing everything. Don't listen to them." Laura shouted, pulling on his arm, attempting to guide him back toward the shadowy sanctuary of the tree. But Nathan felt a magnetic pull toward those figures, a yearning that made no sense. Without thinking, he stepped forward. "What is the truth?" The figures exchanged glances, and then the woman spoke again, her voice like silk, yet chillingly taut. "To know what lies within you, to understand your power, it begins with this. Your family has protected the secrets for far too long." Nathan's heart raced with the enormity of her words. What were his parents hiding? And why was that creature hunted him? As they stood there, suspended in uncertainty, he whispered, "If I don't follow you, what happens?" A tense silence hung in the air before the woman smiled again, this time with a flicker of menace. "You will suffer the consequences, Nathan." The darkness grows impatient with those final words. The group seemed to blend back into the shadows, gliding away as smoothly as smoke until all that remained was the haunting stillness of the night. Nathan turned to Laura, uncertainty etched on his face. "What do we do now?" She shook her head slowly, eyes wide with terror. "We need to find answers, Nathan. Fast before it finds us." But deep down, Nathan couldn't shake the feeling that whatever truth they sought was waiting just beyond the darkness, ready to unveil itself. And with him wrapped in uncertainty and fear, would they be strong enough to uncover what lay hidden? The night held its breath, and Nathan felt the echo of his name pounding in his ears. Trapped between darkness and the unknown, he thought, what if the key to this legacy was the very name he carried? What if it meant something so much more? Nathan knew time was slipping through his fingers like sand. The echoes of that woman's voice, the chilling truth of his name roared in his ears, and the urgency of the moment pressed heavy on his chest. He and Laura stood at a crossroads, both literally and metaphorically, and the next step they took would define their fate. "Where do we even start?" he panted, scanning their surroundings. The shadows felt alive, swirling around them, hinting at things waiting to be uncovered. The air felt tremulous with apprehension, and Nathan could almost see the memories he needed to unlock woven into the darkness. "Your family must know something," Laura urged, breaking his reverie. "They have to have hidden answers. Let us go find your parents." She reached for his arm, determination shining in her eyes. Nathan hesitated, a fleeting pang of fear slicing through him. "What if I'm putting you in danger by dragging you into this?" "Danger is already here," she shot back, her voice sharp, yet tinged with fear. "We can't hide anymore." He took a steadying breath, the weight of the secret resting heavily on his shoulders. "Okay," he said decisively, resolute in the choice to confront whatever dark lineage lay ahead. "Let us go home." Each step toward his house felt like walking deeper into a shadow. The streetlights flickered ominously, and he wondered if they too could sense the lurking dread. Nathan felt a tightening in his gut. What if his family had known the truth all along? What had they kept from him? His parents' house stood quiet, the windows dark like hollow eyes, reflecting the emptiness he felt inside. They made their way inside, Nathan's heart pounding in his throat as he asked the question he dreaded most. "Mom? Dad?" The silence hung thick. They waited, each second ticking away, steeped in uncertainty. A moment passed, and then those familiar sounds of their parents emerged from the kitchen. "Nathan?" His mother called softly, concern threading her voice. She appeared first, striding into the living room, her face brightening as she saw him. But the moment she looked at Laura, her expression shifted. "What is going on? Why are you both home so late?" Suddenly, Nathan felt the rush of urgency swell again. "Mom," he began, summoning all his courage. "There is something I need to know about my name, about our family." His heart raced as her expression changed to worry. glancing between him and Laura. "What's this about?" "I've been followed," Nathan blurted, feeling a rush of words spill out. "There are dark things connected to my name. I need to know if it's true." His mother's face paled, and just then, Nathan noticed his father step forward from the kitchen. "You don't understand what you're dealing with," his father warned, his voice low and grave. "What don't I understand?" Nathan challenged, desperation creeping into his tone. "Please, just tell me." A heavy pause filled the air before his father sighed, steeling himself. "Your name holds power, Nathan," he confessed, his eyes shadowed. "It's a legacy meant to be protected. You were destined for something greater, but it also comes with danger." Nathan took a shaky breath. "What kind of danger?" Before his father could respond, the room began to darken. The shadows flickered, and a familiar growl echoed, resonating through the walls. "No," his mother whispered, eyes widening. "They've found us." Panic surged through Nathan as he grabbed Laura's hand, the room compressing around them like a vice. "What do we do?" he urged. "Unlock the truth," his father urged, desperately searching for a light in the chaos. "Only then will you protect yourself and those you love." Nathan looked at Laura, trembling beside him but still resolute. "Unlock it," he echoed, holding back the fear threatening to consume him. "What do I need to do?" "You'll find what you seek in the heart of this family." His father's voice was calm, yet urgent. "You must confront the truth, or the darkness that chases you will only grow stronger." Before Nathan could ask more, the shadows broke through, a presence emerging like smoke coiling from the corners of the room. "Your name is no longer yours, Nathan," the rasp echoed, chilling the air. "No!" Nathan shouted, stepping forward as a wave of determination crashed within him. "It's mine. You can't have it. Only if you can unlock its power," the voice hissed, the shadows swirling chaotically. Something sparked within Nathan, the connection to his name igniting like a match in the dark. He had control. He had to believe it. "I won't let you take anything from me," he roared, and with that proclamation, he felt a hum reverberate through him, a pulse, a rhythm, something longing to break free. In that instant, the shadows recoiled, as if struck by light. Needing to act, Nathan looked back at Laura. "I know what I must do." She nodded, fear and determination mingling in her gaze. Taking a deep breath, he focused on the heart of his name, that link to the power buried deep within. It felt like a door swinging wide open, letting in not just light but clarity. Visions rushed around him, fragments of memories, whispers from family gatherings, stories passed down. He understood now that he wasn't just any Nathan. He was part of something far greater than he could ever fathom. The shadows shrieked as they shrank back, fluctuating with fear. "You can't resist," they hissed, desperately trying to draw him back. "No!" Nathan cried. "I'm taking back my name." The moment felt electric, charging the air around him as he reached out, spreading his arms wide. This name was his, and with it, he wielded a power that was awakened, ancient and fierce. The shadows recoiled further, dissipating into the corners of the room until, finally, the dark cloud that suffocated them evaporated entirely. Silence enveloped them, heavy yet bright from the truth now laid bare. Laura squeezed Nathan's hand, her eyes wide with shock, but now aflame with pride. "You did it." "I did," he breathed, feeling the weight of his heritage grounded within him. The legacy that was once concealed now shimmered brightly in his heart. His father stepped closer, searching Nathan's eyes for understanding, for recognition. "You're ready, Nathan. You hold the key." As the day broke over the horizon, Nathan felt a weight lift, an opening beyond the darkness. Choices lay ahead. Commitments to protect those he loved, to embrace his unique power, and to understand where this legacy would take him. For every shadow that skulked in the world, he now possessed the strength to light the way. With shared gazes and unspoken resilience, Nathan knew he could wield his name without fear. The truth, once blurred by shadows, now burned brightly before him. And as the sun rose, He felt like he was stepping into a new era, ready to embrace the story his name would write. But he felt the urgency remain. Together, they would seek the answers, navigating uncharted paths revealing the truths yet to unfold. "Are you ready?" Laura asked, determination storming in her voice. Together, Nathan replied, feigning a smile, feeling the bond of their friendship steadying him against what lay ahead. The journey had just begun, yet in that moment, Nathan understood his purpose. Only now, he wielded the key to unlock every possibility before him. You need to subscribe now to catch every exclusive story that's coming. Smash that like button now to help fuel the algorithm and share the journey. I want to hear your thoughts. Flood the comments section with your reactions and theories about Nathan's revelation. And don't wait even one more second to share this story with at least 5 friends who also need to be in on this life-changing conclusion. Your support shapes our community and takes us further on this incredible adventure together.